Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Hello, Montgomery County. Welcome back to the MoCo Sideline Sports Show. It is January. Weather's about to get a little bit nasty. Here comes our winter weather, but that's okay because we have indoor sports. We've got winter sports going full speed right now. We've got a lot going on. School is back in session. Winter basketball, winter soccer. There's a whole lot going on in Montgomery County right now. A lot to get out and see and do, and we've got a great show for you here today. This is round number 9 here with the MoCo Sideline Sports Show on the Lone Star Community Radio. Hopefully you're listening to all of Lone Star's shows. If not, go check out more information on irlonestar.com, and you can always tune in FM 104.5 and 106.1 to hear all of their shows. For our show, the MoCo Sideline Sports Show, you can always catch us on YouTube and on Spotify. Well, we've got a great show for you today. We have 2 great interviews. We are going to hear from Magnolia ISD. We talked to the sports information coordinator. Thank you, Robert Patty. Robert joined us. So we're not just talking about one sport from Magnolia. We're going to hear about basketball. We're going to hear about soccer. He even tells us what's coming up with spring sports, softball, baseball, and more. So there's a lot going on out of Magnolia, and we're going to hear all about it from Robert Patty here coming up in just a little bit. And then we are going to talk Lady Highlanders basketball. Coach Ashley Davis joined us with a great conversation, just a great interview. Coach, thank you for giving us some time this week to talk about your basketball program. Folks, we're going to hear a lot more about it here very, very soon. But let's give you a little recap in the standings. In 6A Region 2, District 13, right here, our local high schools. They're deep into district play at this point. In the boys, we've got Woodlands. That's Coach Reed's team. In first place district at 7-2 overall, they're 17-7. College Park is just a game behind them at 6-3. I think they've got a game coming up here before too long. Overall, the Cavaliers boys team is 18-10 for the season. Like I said, 6-3 in the district, and then one game behind them are the Willis Wildcats. The boys are 5-4, 15-9 overall. In District 13 with the ladies, Grand Oaks is still undefeated. Their first place, that's Coach Carter's team. We talked to Coach Carter earlier this year, and they're off to a blazing start. They're still undefeated. Right behind them is Conroe at 8-3, and then Coach Davis's team that we're going to hear from here in just a little bit at 8-3. So lots going on in basketball. Again, it's also soccer. So if the weather is decent and we've got a good run, get out there and catch some boys and girls high school basketball. Like I said, we got some great interviews coming up. Had a great connection with Robert Patty. He's a sports information coordinator, so he's in charge of media, film, coordinating so many things behind the scenes. That was actually something I kind of related to real well. If you go back to my college days, I told him the story just a little bit, but back at Washburn University, back in the day, that's in Topeka, Kansas, where I grew up, and then moved down here shortly after to Houston. But I was a student athlete, and in my senior year, so training for that sport, training for nationals, and of course, trying to finish out my senior year of college as a journalism and communication student. And I was working in the athletic department. And in the same department doing what Robert did as a sports information director. I was the assistant SID working for the main SID. And it was a great experience and learning so much about behind the scenes athletics and how to run a program. And then ironically and coincidentally, as the basketball season started, the SID, John, the man I worked for, he resigned. And all of that department and those responsibilities and all the game management and managing and working with the media and the press, that all fell on me. And that was sure a crazy time trying to be a student and trying to be an athlete as well, and then became a full-time staff member in the athletic department. But I say all that to say this: my time in sports is what prepared me for that role and that opportunity. Had I not known how to prepare and organize and to be inspired, which is what we're talking a little bit about today, to be inspired and work through the stress and just set goals, short-term and long-term goals, to be able to build a game plan and a strategy. All those things that we can learn in sports came into play in that role. And I'm sure that you've had similar experiences as well when you've been on the job or at home and fell back on some of those skills and traits and values. So today we're going to talk a little bit about inspiration. We didn't get too much into the life value because these conversations with Robert and Coach Davis were just amazing, and a lot of stories. And of course, they had a lot to say about their teams and their players. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back with Coach Patty's interview. And we will talk to you again very shortly right here on the MoCo Sideline Sports Show on Lone Star Community Radio. Thank you. Hey, sports fans, Mike with the MoCo Sideline Sports Show. If you are a sports fan, and if you're listening to this show, then you most likely are, you know that us fans are loyal and very enthusiastic. And I say that to say, and I'm talking now to all of our local business owners, what a benefit to put your business in front of that kind of an audience, people who are loyal, supportive, support the community, and are very enthusiastic because they're great sports fans like you and me. So now is time for you to reach out to us so that we can help your business grow as a sponsor for the MoCo Sideline Sports Show and a sponsor of Lone Star Community Radio. For more information, email me at MoCo-Sideline-Sports-Show@gmail.com. MoCo, MoCo Sideline Sports Show @gmail.com. You can also get more information at irlonestar.com/sideline. Let's work together, sports fans. Hey, everybody, Mike with the MoCo Sideline Sports Show, kicking things off this morning. And listen, we've got something really cool to bring you today. We are joined by Robert Patty, Sports Information Coordinator for the Magnolia ISD, Magnolia School District. So rather than just talk one sport, we're going to talk all things sports, high school sports for Magnolia. Robert, thank you for joining us and welcome to the MoCo Sideline Sports Show today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Like I said, we're anxious to hear not just about one sport, but hey, catch us up on everything that's going on with Magnolia. It's winter sports season. So we've got basketball. We've got soccer now is in full swing. So we're going to talk all those things and more. You guys even just wrapped up a great football season. Football team, I think, was 9-2, district co-champs. Coach Martin was coach of the year for the district. I think I saw. He was actually our first guest on the MoCo Sideline Sports Show when we launched back in the fall. So a lot of love and appreciation, and congrats to him for a great season. Robert, what's going on in Magnolia ISD?
Yeah, you said it. Magnolia High had a great year this year in 6A. After last year, after missing the playoffs by literally one play, they came back with a vengeance this year. Had a lot of great returners, good coaching staff. And that they did. They went 9-2. And that kind of segued into having a successful not only football season but also going into basketball right now. Our boys basketball team finished the first half of the season with a 5-3 district record, which actually puts them in a tie for fourth place. And just like every other sport, they take the top four for the playoffs. Yeah. So that's been great for Coach Kane and those boys. They're having a lot of team success. We've got two seniors, Theo Marsh and Joseph Solomon, that are doing really well. Joseph is, for lack of a better term, having a career year right now, doing great things on the court. We also have two sophomores that are really contributing, Cameron Machos and Reed Suttlemeyer. They're not only getting minutes, but they're playing very meaningful minutes. And I know that Coach Kane is really pushing for that team success. So we're just starting up the second round of district, tomorrow, I believe. So they're going to start that second round on the boys. So they're doing really well.
I didn't get a chance to check the schedule. Who do they take on tomorrow? I was trying to remember. So
Tomorrow, I believe that is, let me see here. Tomorrow is they play Klein. They play Klein. So that'll be a big one, across the board, regardless of the sport. We're in a very tough district, so it's been good for them.
they're always tough. Now, did I see? I know you mentioned they're fourth, but you said 5-3 in district. I think they're 13-11 overall. Am I
Yes.
close? Okay.
Yes, yeah, and Coach Kane does a good job of scheduling quality opponents in non-district, whether it be through tournaments or scrimmages or whatever, just to get our kids prepared. By playing some of the top competition in the state, and we host our Bulldog Invitational every year, and we've got teams from everywhere from South Lake over to the Austin area, San Antonio. We bring in some teams from down south, so it's a great event that brings in a lot of good teams, and really gets everybody kind of into the season mode early by having great competition.
You bet that's a great way to get it started. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is, I mean, there's got to be a great mood with the team right now. I think last season they wrapped up 8-23. So to be up on top in the win column right now, I mean, there's a lot of momentum and there's got to be some excitement in that locker room right now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, we've got two seniors that are really kind of driving that home and really showing that leadership with Joseph and Theo. They've really kind of set the tone for the season. And, Coach Kane's been here a long time. And there's also something to be said for that, just having that continuity and just having that longevity and setting a program how you want it and having a group of kids that really buy into it, from, like I said, with Joseph and Theo down to the sophomores with Reed and Cameron and everybody in between. It's a collective team effort that Coach Kane instills that culture in them every day.
If you had to pick one or two words to kind of define his coaching style, or even better, maybe if we asked the players, not to put you on the spot, but how would you kind of describe, just very briefly, his style of coaching, his style of play that he likes to put on the court to win?
I would describe his coaching style as passionate and with grit. He loves his boys, he loves his players, and he loves Magnolia. He's tied in here. Obviously been here for a while, but has family that was born and raised in this district. And I know those boys that they love playing for him. Playing style, they're fast, they're up and down the court. They like to let the shots fly. But they get after it. We've got a couple of big kids, but we by no means have some of those, a multitude of 6'4", 6'5", up there. They get up and down the court, they push the ball, and they're just intense. They're scrappy.
All right. Well, we could talk all day about boys basketball, but there's some great things going on with the girls team as well. So catch us up. I think the girls are also in fourth place, 6-4 in district play so far.
Yes, yeah, and that's been really cool to see. I don't know if you've had a chance to get to see Coach Ritter very much, but Coach Ritter's been here for a while, and she's she's from went to OU, so she's a Sooner. She brings that mentality every day to the gym, and it just radiates through those girls. Right now we've got a senior. Her name is Nia Sasser. She's averaging 12 points a game, and Landry Pitcock, another senior, is averaging 11 points a game. And they're kind of the same situation as the boys. They're really those two seniors are really, really driving that mentality and just really showing that great senior leadership by showing what Coach Ritter has taught them and pushing that intensity.
Let's talk about that leadership real quick. Let's give some props to them, because that's what you'd expect from your seniors, especially in a high school ball or college ball. I mean, that's what you expect. They've got, at the longest, they've got the experience, they've got the tenure. You want them to take control and be that captain, be that leader. What's that leadership style look like in terms of the communication when things are going down on the court? How would you, let's talk a little bit more about the leadership of those players and how it's lending to success.
So Nia, she's a very intense. She's kind of plays like our point guard. So she kind of drives everything as far as pushing things up and down the court. But she's hard nosed. She will get after it. And people. I'm kind of aging myself now, but it's very very similar to like a Dawn Staley, Cynthia Cooper. Back in the day, really just getting out there and pushing it. Bringing that intensity level. Landry, she plays a kind of a post position for us. Her leadership, she's a lead by example type person. She gets after it. She puts her nose down and works her butt off and really just pushes that intensity. Maybe not as vocal necessarily, but the leadership style that I've seen is, people see what she does and they follow her.
Excellent, excellent. And let's talk about the rest of their schedule coming up. I mean, they're poised to make a great playoff run, like you said, 14-9 overall, 64 in the district so far. So they're going to be gunning to make a playoff run. What are some of the big games coming up on their schedule that could be a make or break and a determining factor as to whether they can get into the postseason? And I say that from the standpoint of that I would hope that anybody watching the show right now and if they're looking for something to do to kind of break these winter blues. I mean, winter is here. It's January, so it's cold and rainy, right? We're all kind of hitting the winter doldrums a little bit. Great opportunity to get out and see some local high school basketball, because there's some exciting stuff going on all across the county with all across our high school sports, but definitely right here in Magnolia. So what can the girls look forward to the rest of the season here?
Well, just having that tough district, they've kind of set a target of 10 district wins is kind of what they're aiming for. Coach Ritter feels that that's kind of that's the target for making that playoff push is 10 district wins. And obviously, your Klein schools are always tough. Tomball schools, and just the rivalry that the Magnolia schools and Tomball schools have had, for forever. I mean, as long as I've been in the district, even when we were different districts, different, divisions, stuff like that. Anytime we play those schools in non-district is always a very fun, competitive game. So, like every sport in our district, there's no easy games left. So, if you get a chance to come out and watch any of any of those games, I know we still have one more round of our crosstown games, Magnolia West. Those are always fun. So it's going to be one of those pushes that, obviously you want 10 wins, but the most you can get to try to work with that seeding and make the playoffs is the ultimate goal.
Fantastic. So yeah, folks, if you're looking for something fun, do not undersell the excitement and the thrill of high school basketball, because it's not just great on the court, but some of the funnest things are being there with the students and watching the students get into the game and show support. I mean, it is, it's rowdy as well. Hey, before we leave that, we talked about passion and grit being ways to describe Coach Kane. How would you describe Coach Ritter?
And Coach Ritter is just, it's kind of the same, but definitely grit. But she is one of those that she will, you have a lot of people that say, they want their leaders to lead from the front. And that is what Erica Ritter is. She will not ask you to do anything that she herself is not willing to do. And she's been here long enough that, players grow up respecting her, and they want to play for Erica Ritter. I have a daughter right now who plays at Bear Branch, and I know that she, any chance she gets to come and watch the Magnolia Bulldogs play and watch Coach Ritter coach, she takes it. Coach Ritter is definitely one of a kind, and we're very, very fortunate to have her, and all of our coaches really, but Erica Ritter, we're very, very fortunate to have her.
Completely agree from everything I've heard. So appreciate that a lot. Hey, listen, we've only got you for a few more minutes, and we definitely want to get into talking Magnolia soccer a little bit, and anything else that you want to tell us about as well. So what's going on with the soccer teams, Coach?
Yeah, so we'll start with the boys soccer team. They're coached by Matt Evans, and right now they're making a push to make the playoffs. We've got some senior captains that really are pushing pushing the tempo, really controlling how that team vibe is. Luis Feliciano, Andres Ramirez, and Leif Shorter. Those three really are just they set the tempo for those boys. And Coach Evans has them going in the right direction. And like I told you on the phone the other day, I'm definitely a soccer person, and I can tell you that we're very fortunate here in Magnolia that both sides of town, West and High, boys and girls, are very, very strong. On the girls' side, we had April Cleveland here for 17 years as the head girls coach, and she's moved over to Woodlands Christian Academy with her husband, and her daughters are over there, and her son. So we obviously wish her nothing but the best. But I tell you what, we're very fortunate. We got a brand new coach over here. Her name is Sadie White, and she came over from Midland Greenwood. And I tell you what, those girls are not missing a beat with her. It's different, but it's also the same. She brings that same intensity that April did. And we've got, from last year, last year we won district in our first year in 6A. And we started 6 freshmen last year on that group, and we actually have 5 of those coming back, and 10 overall returning starters. There, and we've got a couple girls that I really think on the younger end have potential to be pretty good college commits down the road and really
Good.
make history here in Magnolia. If it's okay with you, since we're talking soccer, I'll go ahead and segue over to the boys' side, just since we're kind of
Yeah, of
on
course.
on the west side, I guess, since we're kind of on that right now.
And that was the first half of our conversation with Coach Robert Patty from Magnolia ISD. Great information so far. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back after this quick break for the station. But when we come back, we'll pick up for the second half of the interview and start talking about Magnolia boys soccer. We'll see you then.
Car enthusiasts of Conroe, FM 104.5 and 106.1 Lone Star Community Radio invites you to shift into gear every Monday from 1 to 2 with Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy for news on all things automotive in the greater Houston-Conroe area. Can't make a live show? We've got you covered. You can find all of our uncut content, including full episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Play Store, YouTube, Facebook, and irlonestar.com. Again, that's Mondays 1 to 2, Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. See you there.
So with Magnolia West, they've been a perennial contender for some deep playoff runs, and they're coached by Matt Modekef, and they're a very very exciting up tempo style of soccer. They really get up and down the field, and they really push that tempo. And I know that Coach Modekaf is really going to continue to keep taking that program higher and higher. And then the girls' side over there, so that's coached by Jimmy Flores. And I don't know if you know much about Magnolia West girls soccer. They've had a couple blips on the radar as far as improvement, stuff like that. But I'll tell you, Coach Flores, he's been there. I want to say this is his 3rd year. He's got that program in an upward trajectory. They beat Magnolia High. Was it last? I think it was last year, the year before, for the first time ever. This year they have a couple returning starters. They've got two really good players that kind of stand out. Katie McBride is one of them, and then we have a University of Texas Dallas commit and Avery Riley. That's I'll tell you this, that Coach Flores has that program going in the right direction, and those girls, they will fight for him. I tell you, the way that he gets those girls going, and over on the west side gets that fan base engaged. They're doing a phenomenal job over there.
In our last show, we had a great conversation with Coach Hurahan at Montgomery boys soccer, who he's had some success there. But one of the things that we talked about and he spoke to is just the rise in popularity of the sport at the high school level. One thing I asked him about is building a team and recruiting, and what does that look like? Have you seen just a rise in the popularity and the number of people that want to go out and be a part of your soccer programs?
Oh, I would absolutely agree with that. I think there's a lot of kids who are looking for alternatives to your mainstream sports. And I say mainstream, talking football, basketball, and I also think that, this is just kind of a small thing, I guess, as far as like it's a newly developed thing, but with the World Cup coming here.
No, exactly. It's going to be a big year for soccer.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of driving a lot of it. I also think that the rise in quality clubs, there's a lot of quality clubs around Houston on the boys and girls side. You've got HTX, you got HTX, GFI, Challenge, Surf, Albion. I mean, there's a lot of them that are really quality clubs, and they are, one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of them are starting to work more closely with the high school programs, allowing those star players to be able to play both high school and club, because there used to be quite a bit of headbutting as far as, our kids on this club team, they're not going to let them play high school or whatever. And it's not the case with everybody in every club, but there are a lot more clubs that are starting to allow that. And kind of as a result of that, not only are we getting more participants, but the quality of soccer on a high school soccer field has definitely improved. That's been one of the big things, is people saying, oh, well, high school soccer, it's not good soccer. Well, I would definitely say that trend has changed, and high school soccer is good soccer.
Yeah, that's a myth that can be easily busted. Folks, get out and watch a game, catch 5 minutes of one of these exciting matches, and you won't think that it's lacking in any excitement at all. So no, it's a thrill to see, and love that these coaches are developing these programs and developing these athletes into being not just great young athletes, but great young people as well. And we see that from every single time we talk to coaches and hear from players, and a lot what's going on. Robert, tell us just a little bit. I know we've only got a few more minutes. I could talk to you all day long. We could do this for days. Love to have you back on the show again sometime, just to keep catching up on what's going on with Magnolia. But give us just a little bit of a glimpse on your background. How did you get to where you are now, and helping to maintain and promote and grow Magnolia ISD sports?
So yeah, I'm from Abilene originally. Went to Wiley High School, and then I went to Hardin Simmons in Abilene. And I actually had the opportunity when I was there to work with the football team my last few years, and I got to intern at Fox Sports back when it was in Houston, down off Bissonnet and Fornes, way down there. So when I graduated and did that, I kind of just had some odd jobs here and there. And one day my wife and I were driving back from Beaumont seeing her sister, and she said, "Why don't you become a teacher?" And it's something you've always wanted to do. Your dad did it. My dad was a teacher and a coach for 43 years. So I said, okay, let's do it. So I ended up getting certified. My first teaching and coaching job was in Willis. And then I was in New Caney for a year. And I came over to Magnolia in 2013 and coached over on the west side for Sean Bell whenever he was here. And so after he left, I knew I was ready to get out of coaching. My kids were getting up there, as far as finally kind of having their own sports, their own events, just missing out on that time. And there was an opportunity to work for Denise Myers in the PR communications department. And so I took that. I did that for about 2 or 3 years. And then in 2017, we added our video screen at each stadium and kind of had a little bit of a refurb. And by some stroke of luck, I ended up already knowing kind of how to run that stuff. And they asked me if I would like to work for the athletics department. So I said, absolutely. So I switched over to athletics, and then it's just kind of been a process of learning on the fly, but also getting to keep my foot in the door on the athletic side. It's one of those where the thing I miss the most about coaching is those game days. But this job allows me to be there on Friday nights for football and be there on Tuesdays and Fridays for soccer and go to basketball games and still be around our student athletes, which is something that, that 2 or 3 year gap that between coaching and this job is something that I definitely missed, and I obviously, it sounds cliche, but I could not have done that and this without the support of my wife and kids, because it's still a lot of hours. It's still a lot of hours, but
no, it's a ton of hours, and it's one of the most behind the scenes jobs you could ever imagine. And I know it's very unsung. People don't see the hours and hours and the tons and tons of work that you do and the number of different hats. I haven't had a chance really to share this with folks, but my senior year of college, not only was I trying to graduate, and I was a student athlete as well, and I attended Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas. I grew up in Kansas before
we
I
have a
moved out
basketball
here.
player there now.
What's that?
We have a girls basketball player at Washburn.
Is that right? No, it's always been a basketball school.
Mm.
It definitely was when I was there, and we transitioned from NAIA to NCAA D2 while I was there. But my senior year, not only was I, in training and sports and also, schooling, but I was working in the athletic department, and I was not a grad assistant, but I was an assistant for the sports information director, essentially, the same role. You're coordinator, but essentially the same role. And just working for him. And in fact, at the start of the basketball season, he actually quit and went on to something else. And a lot of that fell onto me to try to coordinate and run all of that, the basketball season this time of the year. And it was nuts. I was in press management and game management, and I even wound up traveling with the team. I'm like, I'm in school, folks. I'm still trying to study. So it was a ton of work. So I can relate, and I do understand, and folks they may not see all the work that you do, but I hope I can speak for everybody that sees the result of it. Thank you for all that you do, Coach Patty. It's an incredible job, and you're doing a great job at it. And thanks to the coaches for the work that they're doing as well, Coach Kane and Ritter and the soccer coaches. I mean, these programs are growing. Your athletic programs are thriving. They're winning. They're developing kids to go on to college and not only develop their sports careers, but obviously their education as well. They're doing so many things right, and so thank you to all of you and all of them for that.
Yes. Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, before we wrap it up, what else would you like to say and share about the district and what's going on with the athletics? I know you got a football banquet coming up. I mean, there's a lot of stuff still going on. What else do you want to say before we wrap it up?
Well, just a couple quick things. We do have our district swim meet it was Saturday, got moved to Friday because of the weather. But we were going to host it, but now it's going to be at Klein. But we've got some great swimmers and divers for our district for both schools, and they're competing in that coming up. I think dive actually starts tomorrow, so that's coming up. And we also have baseball and softball getting ready. One really cool thing at Magnolia High. So they're coached by Angela Cooper, who actually she was on our I believe it was 1999 state championship softball team at Magnolia High. So she's kind of come full circle. And we've got a player over there. Her name is Stevie South. She is committed to University of Texas. She represented Team USA last year as a catcher and outfielder, and she was last year's district offensive MVP. So she's coming back. And then we also have a pretty cool deal as well. We've got a freshman coming in. Her name is Reagan Christopherson, and she is getting some SEC looks already. She made the Team USA this year, and she has an older sister, Haley, also on the team. So that's going to be a pretty cool thing to follow right there. And then baseball over Mag High, they've been a stout program for a while. Coach Morris over there, he took over for Dale Westmoreland, who had been there for years. I think he had over 500 wins as a coach. They've got some pretty big time commits over there. We've got a kid named Gavin. He's committed to Angelo State. We've got a kid, Jackson Wilcox. He's a pitcher. He's committed to Baylor. And then we have Clyde Williams, who's actually committed to Texas A&M to play over there. So we've got some good things that are brewing, and that's starting up here in the next couple of weeks. So we're good there. And then kind of over at Mag West, something that I thought was super cool over there is last year when Texas Tech played Texas in the softball national championship. One of our former players, Haley Toney, was on that Texas Tech team, and she actually I want to say she's a sophomore, but she started and played and contributed, and it was really fun for our girls on the west side to not only the ones that are already on the team, but you have your aspiring young athletes, who really want to be that person. They want to be that Haley Toney. So getting to see that on TV was awesome, and I guess as far as on the sports side of things, the last kind of thing I want to touch on is Magnolia West baseball. They're coached by Travis Earls. He came from Summer Creek a couple of years ago. We were actually tri-district champions last year, and they made a state. They won state in 2023, and then the next year we made it to the state finals in 2024. So they're on a 3-year run that's pretty. It's pretty impressive. And they've got some studs with Lucas Huff, Cole Meredith, Beckett Steele, and Garrett Bagwell. And I would debate with almost anyone that they play in the toughest baseball district in the state of Texas. You've got the Klein schools, Tomball, Magnolia West, and like we said earlier, you can only take 4. And so, any one of those teams in that district, all the teams in that district would be a great representative, but at the end of the day, we're hoping in no particular order that it's Magnolia West or Magnolia West, trying to get in there.
No, absolutely. As long as you're in the top 2, that's a win for you guys.
Yes.
We'd love to see that. We would.
We were talking about earlier to have how, come out and watch a basketball game or something. Well, on February the 6th, we're actually hosting Magnolia West is going to play Magnolia High in boys basketball at Magnolia West. Magnolia West is going to play Magnolia High in girls basketball at Magnolia High. And we have Magnolia West boys soccer playing at Magnolia High boys soccer. So, a full night of fun. If people want to come out and watch, I think that'd be a great environment for both of them, for all 3 of those events.
No, absolutely. I just circled it on my calendar, and we'll continue to get the word out. That's a great night for Magnolia Sports. We've been joined by Robert Patty, the Sports Information Coordinator for the Magnolia School District, talking all things sports. We've covered just pretty much everything from swimming and diving all the way up to basketball and more. in soccer. So, Coach, thank you so much for joining us today on the MoCo Sideline Sports Show. We definitely want to check in with you again. Keep us posted on all of these stories and successes and these trends that are going on, and all the exciting things. We'll get the word out as best we can using our show in this format. Thanks to Lone Star Community Radio for all they do to allow us to do this and have this opportunity. But Coach, Robert Patty, we'll check back in with you at the end of basketball as we switch from the winter into the spring, because obviously we've got a lot to look forward to in the spring with softball, baseball, and a lot more. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Anything else as we wrap it up and say goodbye? Anything else?
No, that we appreciate the local coverage and wanting to reach out and take care of our student athletes and our coaches. And we do. I know like you were saying, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. We know what goes on behind the scenes with you guys, and we just want to say thank you for the coverage of our student athletes and teachers and coaches.
No, we're glad to do it because this is an amazing place to live and raise kids, such a family environment. And we know there's so many wonderful things going on at the coach and team level inside these schools. And we're just excited to get to share some of these stories. So thanks for joining us today. And we'll be in touch. Y'all make sure to listen and follow Magnolia Athletics. So.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great day and stay warm this weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Andrew from the Audience of One show, airing Fridays at 10 a.m. on Montgomery County's favorite radio station, 106.1 and 104.5 FM, and streaming on irlonestar.com. Make sure to listen to me and the Lieutenant of Merriment, self-proclaimed funny man, Dick Schisler, with our unique blend of observational humor, antics, and odd news stories. Available on all podcast forums and even YouTube if you're the kind of person who likes to watch. For more information, visit us at irlonestar.com/AOO.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the MoCo Sideline Sports Show. Hey, this is your host, Mike Thomas. Thanks for joining us on the show. We are Jumbo. We got a treat right now. We are going to talk Woodlands High School ladies basketball. We are joined by head coach Ashley Davis. Coach Davis, welcome to the MoCo Sideline Sports Show. Let's talk basketball.
Yes, sir. Let's talk.
All right. Hey, you've been at the school a long time now, and you are in the middle of another great season. Your girls are on a great run. I believe 19-5, or at least 19-5. I know you ran into a tough Grand Oaks squad last night, but you're having a killer season. Postseason is on the horizon. What is going on with the Lady Highlanders?
Man, we're just trying to capitalize. Our record right now is actually 22-8 as of right now. But we started off the season, we were rolling. We went to a couple tournaments, faced a couple tough opponents that we wanted to see so that we can kind of prepare for playoffs a little bit, kind of getting in that mindset of that caliber of team. And we just been trying to grind this season out as much as we can. We had a really good run last year, and we wanted to just kind of build off of that.
No, absolutely. So let's talk about the team a little bit, and then we'll get into a little more into the season and the schedule and who you've got coming up that is going to try to get in your way from keeping you from going to the postseason. But I know nobody's going to keep you from making the playoffs. But let's talk about the team. Who are your players, your returners this year? Who do we see on the court if we come out and watch you play?
So this year I have a pretty mixed team. I have 6 seniors, might be 7 seniors and 5 underclassmen.
Okay.
So I actually returned 5 girls back to varsity, but they were all not starters. 3 of the 5 were actual starters. So we got a pretty good balance. Some of our key players is our post player, Kaylin Hoffman. She's a senior. She does a really good, she's a defensive minded player, does a really good job in the paint for us. One of our top scorers on our team is Rachel Roberts. She's been highly recruited right now on the Division I level. We have Issa Alanese, who's another one of our guards. She just committed to Oklahoma Christian. She's a senior. And our point guard is Kason Pino. She's a junior this year. And one of our kind of our forward / guard is Izzy Benson. We have a really good backup that comes in and plays our 4 or 5, and Abby York, she's also a senior. And then we got
You got a
2
good mix.
freshmen.
Yeah, no, you got a good balance there. Like you said, you had a lot of returners. That's what you want, and it's a
Right.
good mixed squad like that. So you've got some great leadership on the court. Hey, if we were to go to one of your opponents and say, "Hey, tell us what style of basketball Woodlands plays," what would they say? What kind of style of game would we see on the court coming from Coach Davis and her team?
Oh, the very first thing they're gonna say is we play fast.
All
They
right.
play fast. We like to play fast. We like to play fast in transition. We like to apply a lot of full court pressure. We like to score a lot. So we try to make the game as fast as possible. So the key to us is obviously to try to slow us down because we want to play fast.
Put more points on the board than the other team. That's the name of the game,
That's
right?
the plan. Yes,
Right, you got
sir.
to figure it out.
Yes,
And
sir.
obviously, with that record, you're doing it. You're doing it for sure. So let's talk about the season so far. We talked about the record, but what have been a couple of the highlights so far? Tell us a couple of good stories, that kind of thing. The whole idea of this show is to get our listeners and get our fans, your fans, a little closer to the action, right? That's why we call it the Sideline Sports Show. If they're courtside, if they're on the
Right.
sideline, right? What have they seen so far? What's been going on this season so far? And like I said, give us a couple of good stories, maybe.
Well, we started off the season great. We were last year we had an 0-5 start. This year we wanted to make sure that we came out of the gate running, so we quickly came out with a 3-0 start. We were 9-1 for the first 10 games. We've had a lot of record breaking. Issa Alanese scored her 1,000 career point probably about maybe 4 or 5 games ago. And then Rachel Roberts, a junior, just scored her career 1,000 points last game versus Oak Ridge. And then we had Kaylin Hoffman. She's coming up on 700 rebounds for her career, and she should probably get that next game. So we've
You
had a
said
lot
put a
of
lot of points on the board. Now we know who's doing it. You've got 2,000
yes,
point scores. I mean, it's getting done.
yes. So that's been real exciting to celebrate those individual accolades along with having those team wins to to go with it. So this is the first time in a long time for Lady Highlander basketball for us to have a record um, at what we have right now. So it's an exciting gym to be in.
No, for sure. And folks, listen, we've been telling you, hey, it's winter time in Texas, right? I mean, it's cold, it's raining again today, right? Those winter doldrums, I mean, they hit. To break out of that, get out to Woodlands High School, get in the gym and watch some very exciting basketball. And not just the girls, the guys, got a great squad. They're having a great run as well. They're a great team coached by Dale Reed. But yeah, these Lady Highlanders are on a run, and there's a lot of talent on the court. A lot of talent that, to your point, is going to be playing at the next level
Yes.
someday. So a lot of great things going on. Let's talk about your leadership, your style a little bit. Let's use the word inspiration. All right. So from whether it's preseason and getting ready, like you said, you wanted to come out of the gate hard and fast and put some W's on the record real fast. So what does inspiration coming from Coach Davis look like, whether it's preseason, whether it's pre-game, or whether it's mid-game? Right now it's halftime. We got to get busy, right? We got to get second half coming up. We got to get after it. How does Coach Davis inspire her team?
Well, I will tell you, I'm very passionate about what I do. So those halftime conversations, they can get intense.
Bet.
But inspiration, I think our biggest thing, I'm a coach, I believe in being disciplined in what we do. And like you said, I want our games to be exciting. So I want when our fans come to watch us play, I want them to see good, fun, clean basketball. It's exciting when we can get up and down the floor and do the things the right way. So we start in the preseason. We start in the postseason trying to make sure that we're locking in on our fundamentals. We want to do as much as we can with those fundamentals. I have a great opportunity. I've been working for the Houston Rockets for the past 24 seasons. So I'm around basketball all the time. So I try to take all of those areas that I'm I have the opportunity to be a part of, and I try to bring that to our program. This year, we were able to bring Tina Thompson out, and she talked about being intentional. So for our season this year, it's all about being intentional about everything that we do, being intentional about being a good teammate, being intentional about doing all of those little things. So that's kind of been our spark this year. Let's be intentional on the court, off the court, and everything that we do. So I've been just using that word to allow it to kind of drive us this season and what we're doing.
We just asked her what she does to inspire her team, and her answer was, "I just bring Rockets players out. I just bring Rockets players out." That's next level stuff. That is awesome, Coach. So what do you do for the Rockets? So now we're just curious.
Oh, well, I work in the visiting team locker room. So I've been working for the organization since I was 16 years old. And I've always worked on the visitor team side. I had the opportunity to work for the Houston Comets, who are on their way back. So I've been around professional basketball for a very long time, along with my playing of basketball. So I have had the opportunity to meet a lot of phenomenal people and be in the environment around a lot of great coaches and players.
Well, if you needed any inspiration on a cold January day, a conversation and listening to a conversation with Coach Davis will definitely do that for you. Thanks for listening into the first half of the interview with Coach Davis. When we come back, she will talk more about her playing days and her coming up as a coach before she took over the Woodlands team. We'll see you in just a minute on the MoCo Sideline Sports Show.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
We were talking off camera a little bit, of course, about how you got from there to here. You played ball at Eisenhower High, and then you went to Houston Baptist, now Houston Christian. Let's talk about just a little bit about your playing days, and then how that transitioned into coaching a little bit. What do you miss? What do you still think about when you think about the days when you were out there playing and shooting?
Well, I was a shooter. So if you ask anybody about Ashley Davis, she's a 3-point shooter. So I grew up playing with my brothers. I'm the only girl and the youngest. So, but I was different because my brothers always picked me first on the court, but the expectation was always high. So there are a lot of the reason why I was able to shoot the ball the way I was. But that's what I enjoy doing. In a weird way, though, as a coach, I focus more on the defensive side, and I was not a very good defender. I was a shooter. My offense was my defense. But just I from Eisenhower, I was able to shoot the ball. I went to HBU as a walk-on, actually, and I received the opportunity to play from my ability to shoot the ball. So I mean, I don't really miss it because I have that opportunity every day that I'm in the gym to kind of share that. And I often tell my players, like, hey, I was a shooter. So if there's anything I know how to do, I know how to shoot the basketball. But just those opportunities have just allowed me to, it's been a true blessing on my journey through basketball.
Tell us real quick about that moment when you knew you were going to become a coach, when you knew coaching was your future. I mean, there always comes a day when we know we're going to be done playing the game. When did you know that you were meant to be a coach?
I actually think I knew early. I think I knew when I was in high school because in high school I actually hung out with my coaches. My former volleyball coach is actually my principal right now. Out here at the Woodlands High School. She was the principal at the Woodlands 9th grade campus. But every day in high school, I hung out with my coaches and I knew that that's what I wanted to be. And I didn't like to dress up. So my freshman coach in high school said, you know what, you should probably go into coaching because you can wear your sweatpants and t-shirt all day long. And I said, you know what, that's not a bad idea. And even with my dad, he told me if I was going to be a basketball player, then I needed to watch the game. He's like, so make sure you watch the game so you're very knowledgeable about what's going on. And as the time went, I realized, I said, you know what? I'll probably be a better basketball coach than I am a player because I know what to do. I'm not always capable of doing it. So, and probably the key point and when I transitioned from knowing that I would be a coach sooner than later was when I stopped growing because I'm still only 5'3". So I was very limited in my opportunities for my playing days. But even in high school, I would take the challenge of trying to coach against the college coach, like in practice. Like I'll take the second squad, because he had the starters, and if I wasn't a starter, the group that I would be with, I tried to take them and even try to display some coaching at that time, just because I enjoy the game.
Vertical challenge is a real challenge, that's for sure.
Yes,
But
it
no,
is.
you're where you were meant to be. You've got the head for the game, you've got the heart for the game, and I know your team, I know your players are the better for it. They're being led by a great coach. Hey, let's talk about the rest of the season coming up. I know you guys are dialed in, you've got your team dialed in and focused. I know you take it game by game. Every coach says that. It's one game at a time. But when you look at that schedule, what are a couple of big games coming up that maybe might be fun to catch? Excited to come out and see.
So our to be honest with you, our schedule moving forward, we kind of had a lighter load compared to some of the other our district components, but College Park is always our toughest opponent. We had a battle over at College Park. We end up winning by 4, and we'll have them on our first and only Saturday game that we'll have this year. Which will also be our parent night. So we'll have a lot going on that day, but they're always a tough opponent for us. They play us hard. They know our girls. They all play AAU together. And they're kind of our rival school. So that'll be a big test for us. And it should come right before it's the game before our final game. So it's kind of right before we kind of kick off for the playoffs.
Well, the Lady Highlanders are, I think you said 22-8, looking very good in district play so far. You're ranked third place.
We're third right now. We're actually
Third.
tied. We're tied with Conroe right now for second, basically.
Yep, exactly. We're joined today here on the MoCo Sideline Sports Show by head coach Ashley Davis. If you're just catching us here on YouTube or Spotify or Lone Star Radio's website, we appreciate you listening to the show. Coach Davis, we could talk basketball all day long. I know you could talk basketball all day long.
Yes, sir.
You're busy. We got to let you go here in just a few minutes. So can we wrap up with a fun little thing that we call the MoCo Sideline Shuffle? We call it the Sideline Shuffle. All right. So it's kind of like that same situation that you were talking about in the game last night. It's late in the game. You got about 30 seconds left on the clock. All right. And we're just going to drop about 4 or 5 questions real quick at you. These are not basketball questions. This is just meant to get to know you a little bit better. Okay. Something fun, something easy, something a little bit silly. Let's do this, and then we'll come back and we'll give you one last chance to say anything you want to say, shout outs about the team, the school, anything like that at all. Okay. We want to give you a chance to just hand you the mic and give you a minute to wrap it up. But here we go. We're going to drop 5 questions real quick, multiple choice. Okay. Are you ready for the Sideline Shuffle?
I think I am.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's talk food. Do you prefer pizza, burgers, or fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
All right. Let's go music. Rock, country, or hip hop?
Hip hop.
All right. Always a good answer. All right. Let's go holidays. 4th of July, Christmas, or Halloween?
Christmas, of course.
All right. We just finished Christmas. That's a fun one for everybody. No doubt about it. Now we're talking TV and movies. Action, comedy, or drama? What's your favorite?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Yeah, I'm going to go drama.
Depends on the mood for sure, right? We all got to match our mood for sure. All right. And last one, it's vacation time. Favorite vacation spot? You going to the mountains, you going to the beach, or you just staying home and chilling?
I'm going to the beach, even though I cannot swim. I love to vacation at the beach.
All right. We do. That's the Sideline Shuffle. Just having some fun, getting to know you, keeping it real light. Hey, I said I'd hand you the microphone real quick. So before we let you go, Coach, again, thank you for joining us on the MoCo Sideline Sports Show. Any last things you want to say about your team, your school, your players? What do you got?
First off, I want to thank you guys for having me on the show. I just want to say this year is been a thrill thus far. We're hoping to the Woodlands High School is a school of excellence in everything that we do. We try to do very well. The Woodlands way is what we like to say. Uh, did it go out?
Okay, I think you're back, and we can edit that out. So you were talking about the Woodlands Way. Pick it up right there.
Yes, the Woodlands way, and we'd like to keep that tradition of excellence for girls basketball. We're looking to keep our stride going and have a good showing in this year's playoffs. And we just hope the fans come out and cheer us on.
No, absolutely. Yeah, folks, get online. You can follow them on social media. We're going to post the tags for Facebook, Instagram. Coach, if you're on X, we'd like to post that page. We want people following you, but get on the website for the high school. Look at the schedule. Get out and see some exciting local high school basketball. You won't be disappointed. Obviously, it's a winning team. It's a great squad this year, and there's a great coach in Coach Davis out there leading them on. So, Coach, thank you for joining us, and we'll be following you. And hopefully, you can join us and catch up with us again later in the season. Hopefully, as you're about to head into the postseason and go on a run. What do you think?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Look forward to it.
All right, that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining us with the interview with Coach Davis from Woodlands High School. Well, thank you for joining us today on the MoCo Sideline Sports Show. We had two great conversations. Thanks to Coach Patty, who joined us from Magnolia ISD, how he keeps up with all those sports and knows every detail, the statistics, the players, what they did last year, what's coming up this season. He's doing a fantastic job. And folks, if you're not paying attention to what's going on out there, they are building some great sports programs out in the Magnolia ISD. So good kudos to all the coaches, and thank you to what they are doing, because they're not just developing great players and great teams, but they're building some great young people and young leaders in our community as well. And thanks to Coach Davis. Loved hearing her stories, talking about how she actually uses her connections with the Rockets and the Comets to teach and mentor and inspire her team as well. That was just really cool to hear that. And I want to mention as well, Coach Reed with Woodlands boys basketball did reach out. We weren't able to get him on the show this time. We'll catch up with them again real soon, because their program is doing fantastic. But boy, I sure tell you, sports have sure changed from when I was playing, when I was a kid and growing up, and maybe for you too. He was tied up looking at game film. And it got me thinking, I don't think our coaches ever watched a lot of film back then, or had all of the technology that they do now. Our basketball coach was also the chemistry coach. And so he was in the classroom all day long. And I don't think he had a lot of time. And maybe that's just the way it was then. But it's sure cool now to see that they're using film and technology, and they can do so much to learn. And a lot of these coaches have, because they, and just like Coach Davis was talking, they have connections and relationships with college coaches and some even at the pro level. And so they're learning how to build better fundamentals and basics, and use strategy and tactics that coaches just didn't know back in the day. But these coaches are smarter. The players are getting smarter, better and faster. And that's why these sports are very exciting to watch. So get out of the house a little bit this January and February, catch some local basketball, catch some local soccer, and support your Montgomery County schools. And support our show as well. Thank you for listening in today. To continue to support our show, here's all you need to do. You just keep listening, number one. Number two, tell your friends. Just share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube show and the YouTube channel. But you can always get more information about the MoCo Sideline Sports Show and other programs, great programs, on Lone Star Community Radio by visiting irlonestar.com. That's www.irlonestar.com. If you put a /sideline at the end of that, you're going to get information about this show. But on that website page, you can get all the information that you need about Lone Star shows. Support us by sponsoring us as well. As a local business, we can promote your show accordingly and appropriately by getting the word out about what's great about your local business. So not only are we promoting you, but you're also supporting a great organization like Lone Star, which is a 501c3. So keep this in mind. There are tax benefits for every dollar, every penny that you use and spend to support the station and support this show. Promoting your business is also tax deductible. So what a great benefit. Start your year off right. Start your business plans off right here in January of 2026 by partnering with us. So many benefits to count. Also, folks, if you're listening, send me your story ideas. Tell me what's going on with your schools, your teams, your players, might even be your own kids. Let's hear and share some more of those great stories. We can share them here in the show and in this format and on our Facebook page as well, MoCo Sideline Sports Show. Well, hey, that's all for today. Thank you again for listening to the MoCo Sideline Sports Show. Thank you to Dick and all that he does to help produce this show. Does an amazing job with this one and all the others. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you next time.